All right, here we go. What's up, everyone? My name's AJ Rice Crypto. It is Tuesday, July 16th, and welcome to the Solana episode. I went back and I looked at my previous Solana price prediction. And guys, it's a pretty good video. Pretty good video here on AJ Rice Crypto. One of my personal favorites. Went down the rabbit hole on that one. But, back when I did that video, there was, the phones. The phones were big, like the bonk airdrops were big. The meme coins were really coming into prominence, And the thing is that at the time, the idea of a Solana ETF wasn't really in the wheelhouse quite yet. All right, and I do, throughout this show here, I do feel the need to add that to the equation. We talked about dominance. We talked about Gone Theory. We talked about pitch fans. We talked about implications of the market cap, the Alameda lockup, which is, there's still a lot of unknowns of Solana, given the fact that it is a coin that does not have a max supply. If you look at the max supply for Solana, it's infinity. It can go forever. And then there's that certain amount of, it will curve off slowly over time. Because, the inflation starts at 8%, and then not every year, but every epoch year, it disinflates, I think like 15% from that 8%, and the current inflation rate is 5%. But then when you go back and look at the past 3 years, it's like 17%, 18%, or something like that. And we're like, wait, I thought the inflation rate was 8 to 5%. How is it growing, 15 to 18% for every year for the past 3 years? Well, it's because of the locked coins, and that is still an issue. So, we do have to mix that into the equation, but regardless, Solana was looking pretty good. We all know it's the VC's darling. They kind of ignore the fact that it can just shut off sometimes, and and the fact that it has that much institutional venture capitalist attention, that has to be a focal point, especially as the conversation of a possible Solana ETF happens. Like we saw what happened with Ethereum this year. All right. Let me pull the Ethereum chart for you really quick. I should have covered this space before I had the show started, but it kind of popped into my head as we were going. All right. And I don't even have my damn screen shared. AJ, what are you doing, bro? Jeez. All right. So, here is, let me get the right one. Okay. Let's go to the daily chart. Okay. So here is the Ethereum chart this year. Okay. And right here is the beginning of 2024, right in here somewhere. All right. So, and look at this, guys. Ethereum going from January 23rd to local high, an 85% move from 2,200 to 4,100. All right. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. All right. And this had everything to do with the ETF. Okay. Everything with Bitcoin and eventually Ethereum's itself. Okay. Because if you go to, say, the coin perspective, all right, and let's go back. Let's say, let's kind of ignore the supply problem here. All right, we're going to ignore the supply with Ethereum and just kind of get a rough estimate of how much Ethereum's market cap actually grew from January to, late March, mid-March there. So in January 24th, Ethereum was at, let's just say 2,200 even. Okay. So price target for Ethereum, 2,200. Okay. So that would be down 36% from its current price, with the $264.5 billion market cap. All right, let's just say 264 for even numbers. 264. Ethereum grew to, let's just say 4,200. All right, even numbers. So it went from 2,200 to, from 264. Oh, no, I mean do that. All right, yeah. So 2,200 was 264.5 billion. All right, now let's, I have, why? Because I have to go this way. 4,200. 504. Okay, that's well $140 billion, guys. Okay. That is a pretty insane amount of liquidity pumped into Ethereum. Actually, way more than that. Damn, that is actually really crazy when you think about it. Because like we kind of always kind of talk about, damn, you know why is there not 240 billion? Excuse me, not 140, 240. We always talk about where's the capital. Why is there not money on the side? Like, you know, where's that money on the sidelines? Where is it going to come from? There, or people have theories. There is no money on the sidelines, right? Well, from right. Oh, sorry. So from, let me clear out some of this chart graffiti here. So from right here to right here, from January to March, Ethereum injected in the ballpark of $240 billion to its market cap. Okay. And if you remember, when we talked about Solana previously in my price prediction video, and my personal target for Solana was 636. Oh, not 1636, it would be 636. All right, which is, you know, 295 billion, but I also included, you know, some of the supply stuff as well in there. All right, with right now Solana at $1.55, 155. Okay, we're at 71.9 billion right now. All right. So we're talking over 200 billion for Solana to get to 636. I think what the element of the story that we're missing here is that right now Solana's market cap is only 72 billion. Ethereum's market cap is now 408 billion. And like I said, when Ethereum was at 2200, it was 264 billion. So my point is, obviously, it takes a lot more money to move Ethereum than Solana, right? Obviously. Okay. So when you think that as we kind of inch closer to a Solana ETF, we really have to now consider, when talking Solana price predictions, what is going to happen with the extra money coming in from the ETF. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I am going to make an official revision to my Solana price prediction right here on this show. But first off, shout out to everybody in the chat. Got about 100 people in the house. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Jonathan says, hey, good morning. I'm a little late, but I'm here. Well, go back and watch the first 8 minutes after, because we are talking about Solana. We're talking about my price prediction I did with Solana, and that I have to publicly revise that prediction I did with Solana, because at the time we were not considering a Solana ETF. So I kind of went back and looked at, okay, how much did Ethereum grow when, you know, everything was happening in the beginning of this year? Ethereum grew by over $220 billion. If Solana grew by $220 billion from where it is right now, I mean, I'm adding new facts in now at this point. All right, so let's go back to Solana. And guys, the coin perspective, great place to do moon math. So it is currently at 72.2 billion. So if it grew out by, it would be 292.2 billion if it grew by 220. And that would take us to about a $300 Solana. Okay. But that's kind of just that same number. I think that Solana is going to have much more money injected into it by the time like we get to the end result, is kind of the point that I'm building to here. So before I have a lot more to say about this idea, but I do want to kind of continue here for a second. We do have Mikey J sent a $5 super chat with the message retracted. What are you trying to say here, Mikey? Huh? I do appreciate the $5 though. All right, shout out to everybody in the chat. Skittles McFly, Gregory Ward, Carter Pennington, Giovanni Kurtzel, Ricky Burris, Karen Harris. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and even those of you silently listening in the back who don't contribute to the chat. Hope you're having a good Tuesday morning. Mikey J, parentheses Delta, another $5 super chat. Thank you, Mikey, for $5 2 times. He said, AJ, if you only had $1,200 to spend right now in the market, How many coins would you diversify, and which would those coins be? If I only had $1,200, if I only had $1,200, I probably wouldn't buy crypto. Because like that, that's kind of like a, you kind of want to have more to. I'm going to ignore that concept and answer your question. How about that? Okay, let's do that instead. That's more fun. $1,200. All right. So you have to realize when you're only dealing with a very small amount of money, like $1,200. If you put $300 into 4 coins, right? That's kind of a waste of time. Because if, say, you put, $300 into Dogecoin and $300 into something else, if that coin doubles, if that coin triples, what do you have? $600, $900? It's not really doing anything. So you really want to make it count. All right. If you're only dealing with a very small amount of money, I would probably put it in 1 coin or maybe 2. If you went, 600, but even if you're going 600, it's still not that significant. Like you have to consider, if you put $600 of something and it doubles, okay, you have $1,200. Congratulations. You know what I mean? You kind of diversifying that is rough. So what I would do, I would probably take $1,000 and I would put it into here. Let's actually use this excuse to look at the market caps of the coins. Okay, let's go back to CoinGecko here. Share this tab instead. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I certainly wouldn't put it into XRP, bro. XRP, 8th by market cap, $32 billion market cap. Ignoring a lot of other aspects, it basically, long story short, it's going to take another $32 billion for your 1,200 to become 2,400. That's not pragmatic. That's not smart. You're not going, if you only have $1,200, you're not targeting top 10. Absolutely not. Bitcoin, a little under 64. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Solana, 155, up 11% on the week. Love to see it. You're really going to want to scroll down the list a little bit here if you're really trying to make it count. Look at Hedera up 14% on the week. Stellar, Aptos 18.23. VeChain up 24% above 3 cents. Talked about that one, TA on that one yesterday. And what we said in the TA on that one yesterday actually played pretty close to what we said. Dog Whip up 30%. Love to see that. Nailed that one in the Telegram group. The graph at 21. So the goal here, if you only have $1,200, you're trying to make as much money as you can off of it, right? So you would certainly want to target a coin that's probably 2 billion or below, which kind of, anything from render underneath, because you're trying to make as many X's as you can. It doesn't make sense. If you only have $1,200, you're not buying Cardano, you're not buying Solana, you're not buying Dogecoin, you're not buying XRP. You're not buying coins with, where it requires $10 billion for your 1,200 to turn into 2,400. You want to target something 2 billion below, those coins that really have the X factor, that can add more multiply. All right. I don't think so. If you went 1,000 something and then 200 something really risky, that's kind of how I would approach it. So really, man, take your pick. You could go 1,000 Jasmine. I don't hate 1,000. The Graph, I don't hate. You could even go a little bit more risky, a little further down the list. 1,000 Jupe, 1,000 Algorand. And then we kind of the conversation starts to change, and we go outside of the top 100 for that other $200. There's a couple projects that I don't hate down here, but AEVO, that I don't hate that one. Singularity. Oh, that's because of the merge, right? Maybe MAGA. That one's going to have a lot of attention on it outside of the top 100. Just all the election coins are going to look at Engine Coin about to leave top 200. That's a bummer, man. I missed that project. I made so much money on that in 21. And now we're inside the top 200, and this is where we're really starting to get desperate. And the thing with going outside the top 200 is that you really have to know, okay, which coins like fell from grace, like, you know, Raven coin, you know, AMP, like which coins were previously top 100 coins that fell, and which are new coins that are kind of coming up into the world. And you kind of really do have to answer that question. And now we're really, you know, we're talking $200 million market caps at this point. You know, honestly, I would maybe put it in like lock, like from a Houdini swap. Big shout out to them. They are sponsoring the channel, but given their partners, that might not be a bad move. Maybe like wormhole or yeah, this is that's actually tough because you only have $1,200 to work with. So you want to make sure what you're doing counts, right? So I'm going to give you a final answer. I'm just kind of spitballing as I go. I would say 1,000 into Jasmine and 200 into Popcat. That's what I would do. Popcat, man, has been doing really well. I think it's going to continue to do really well. I think it's going to become another one of those meme coins that really kind of takes over. It has gone up significantly. I would definitely not put that $200 in it now. It has popped. That cat has popped. But I think it's going to become a top 50 project. Easily. Yeah, man. Going to take a quick look at the gainers and the losers. And it really comes down to, you have to like make a decision. You have to say, okay, I'm going to pick a coin. I'm going to put $1,000 in a coin that is a $2 billion market cap or less, and then put the other $200 into something really risky. Because you want, if you're going to, you know, you're not going to take safe coins. You're really rolling the dice, right? So you got to pick something risky, you know, which is why I said Popcat, you know, just breaking top 100. You know, it's kind of a safer, risky pick, but you could throw it at a dartboard in the top 200 and go for the best. I mean, once you kind of get into those coins, it's hard to keep track. All right, and here's a little lesson here. Top gainers, top 24 hours: Pepe, Dog Whiff, Floki, Popcat, Brett, Bonk, all Shiba, all moving. What is that saying? Meme coins. Meme coins are moving right now. All right. Arweave, Mantra, big movers, Core, Near Protocol. Still, guys, buying Near at $6. I am telling you, not a bad move. Jasmine, have been buying more Jasmine, bought more Jasmine, like below 2.5 cents. Really glad I did. I think Jasmine is going to absolutely rip. It's a killer. Top losers: Uniswap, VeChain, Tau, Tron, SEI all day. Nothing down too heavy. I am a aggressive 1K in VeChain. Yeah, I know you could go. I don't know. I would rather something more risky than VeChain. Can you check the AEVO chart? I'm not going to check it during this show, but that chart has been talked about time and time again in the Telegram group. So if you're in the Telegram group, you do have my thoughts on AEVO. SWFL Crypto, shout out to him. He is a platinum member of my Telegram group. We had a conversation yesterday. Really shout out to him. He's been making some progress with his trades, and I love to see that. He said GRT or POW. I don't feel the same way about POW now that I did before. I think POW, I don't think it's, if you remember in my public portfolio, we did do our follow-up video yesterday, Jada and I, and we sold POW correctly. And I think that it's going to be a player, but I think that the pump already happened. I would be surprised to see POW recover and continue significantly. I just don't. I don't know. It was one of those here. Let's actually look at the chart. I do want to stay on topic though, with Solana today. This is the Solana episode, and here I am pulling a POW chart because my brain just cannot handle it. Okay, so here we are at the POW chart, and we do have to understand, why is my EMAs not there? This keeps happening. For some reason, like my EMAs disappear. So we do got to kind of appreciate, okay, so POW all the way down here, and look at where it kind of stopped out. You know, we certainly have a triangle situation going on. And this kind of is a support resistance level from back here. Okay. It did go over, you know, it has, you know, it's kind of this right there is the good support resistance spot. and it has bottomed here 1, 2, 3 times now. So we can certainly say that in the event PAL goes below 18.4, so just under 18.5 cents. In the event PAL goes below that, that is a short, because it has held that level twice. And if we break structure from there, and continue this kind of down channel like this, certainly that is a short if PAL loses 18.4. All right, there's the idea number one. Idea number two is that we are in a triangle. All right, and this triangle, I mean, the point of intersection is probably, August. It's mid-July already. And as you can see, we had some ideas over here before, losing this support resistance level, which was a really big one. What was that exact level? At 53.3. And then there was this kind of ascending triangle here. We broke down out of that, and there was a support resistance level here. I remember we targeted that one from the Telegram group. And from the break of that to the bottom, we're talking a 56% move in 22 days. Not a bad call from the group there. But so basically PAL has to break out and regain and continue. I mean, it hasn't even put in a higher low yet. It hasn't put in a higher high yet. There's not really a conversation of a change in direction, a change in structure on PAL yet. PAL has a long way to go, where other coins have already started forming bullish formations. It is a 234% pump back to its local high, all-time high at 88 cents. I hope it does. I don't know. There's a part of me that doesn't think it'll make it back. This is certainly a good level to watch. This level here is a pretty cut and dry support resistance. I'll change the color on this bad boy here, as it was the floor here and the ceiling here. I would say that would be 20. Let's just go ahead and call it 29.7, about 30 cents. PAL breaks this level. PAL also breaks out of the triangle, and we can have a conversation about a change in direction. What has happened? I'm going to say this last concept, and then we'll move on to the rest of what I have to say about Solana. So what has happened here is that I posted this in the Telegram group yesterday. All right. And if you notice, Jasmine was between 0.318 and 0.304. Okay. In what I like to call a conditional range. All right. And you can see why these are relevant support resistance levels, and even volume weighted support resistance levels from the visible range volume profile. And what has happened is that as Bitcoin kind of woke up after the Trump rally, so did altcoins. And if you take a long look at this Jasmine chart, you'll see a couple things. One, the price action is far above the 50 EMA. One. Two, the point of control in the visible range volume profile is all the way down below 2.5 cents. Okay. So it really distanced itself from its volume. Okay. Three, it had a really sharp move up. You see that quick, sharp move. When that happens, even if it eventually continues, you have to know that, okay, this is a change of direction. This could be the beginning of a formation of a new uptrend, or even an ascending, broadening uptrend, as commonly these charts form when they break out of downtrends. But even if this forms an uptrend, we have to have the conversation. Okay, so how far can this chart come down, right, and still technically be in that uptrend? I'm pretty sure I have another. Okay, so yep, here it is right here. Let me pull this one over into this slot here. All right, so here is another thing from Jasmine that I posted in Telegram group yesterday. You see these? So this is the new Jasmine uptrend, right? And you see how these white circles here, this is kind of respecting the new trend line of the higher lows that it has put in. Okay, it's in a new uptrend now. It broke structure, changed direction, new uptrend. It could actually fall all the way down there to around a little bit above 2.5 cents, about 2.7, 2.5, those two white circles, and technically still be in an uptrend. All right, that's very important. So when we look back at this one, look at the gap in the volume profile. You see how the volume profile comes out to around where it is, and then it loses volume, and then the point of control is actually down here where a lot of this value range was. And you see how back in July, how quickly Jasmine fell from here, like around here to here, and how quickly it went back from here to here. That's because there's no volume. And anytime you're dealing with a low volume node, you have to know, okay, it can lose this level just as fast as it gained it. It's not a static environment. So the idea here is that if Jasmine loses 0287, Jasmine is likely to go back to that and head towards the point of control. At the very least, I was saying that I believe Jasmine is going to continue. It's going to continue to dip from where we are now, considering how sharp the move was. And notice when I posted this, we were above 0304, that middle support resistance line. Okay, here we are now. Here we are now. As predicted, Jasmine was right here when we posted it. It actually came and dipped below this temporarily, but we have to understand that at that point in time, this was obviously a retest of the 200 EMA. Okay, so anytime that alarm goes off, the first question you ask yourself is, where are the EMAs? And then you realize, oh, the 200 is coming up the hill. If you're not already in that short, you realize that that's not the time too short, because it's going to retest to 200. All right, but my point here is that from when I posted that, with that idea, top to bottom, 9.45 in 5 hours, about 9.5% on the short. If you shorted from that alarm at 0304, we're talking top to bottom 7% in 2 hours. And it's actually you're still up about 0.5% because it came back up. And that was kind of what I was saying. Like, basically, when you have these sharp moves up like this, you're going to see it come down, and then you're going to see it retest off something, either the 200 or the downtrends here, the floor of the uptrend, and then it's going to continue on its way. So now, so Jasmine is now about to close above this level, and now we have to ask ourselves, okay, moving forward with this trade, are we willing to long from here to here? All right, and let's kind of look at that. So from this level to this level is about a 5% move. So basically, you have to ask yourself, am I willing to go into this trade knowing that best case scenario, I'm going to leave with 2 or 3%, because you're probably not going to ride it all the way to 5. We got to have the double top conversation, stuff like that. But this is kind of one of those plays where you go into it saying, okay, if I can break this line, we're going to retest that volume, maybe clear that volume where we got rejected before. I might be able to scoop 3% out of here. I don't hate that idea. I don't hate that idea at all. But then we're also having the conversation of look at the oscillator. Certainly not in the green anymore like it was before. And it could put in a lower high and then form a mini bearish structure like this, and then bounce off of these circles here and continue. I'm going to leave that chart just like that. It makes no sense unless you heard the explanation, but I'm going to see if that plays out or if Jasmine continues to the upside. So let's continue our conversation about Solana here. But yeah, I just want you guys to be aware of those types of moves. When there's those quick, sharp moves up, you have to be willing to scalp short. But once the direction changes, you're realizing that, okay, now we're in an uptrend. There was a change of direction. All right. And if you are going to scalp short, that's the word, scalp short. You're not swing trading in a structural uptrend. If you're going short, it's a scalp. If you wait for the bounce, you can swing long because we're in a structural uptrend. Basically, if you're shorting in an uptrend, it's a scalp. Okay. Or if you're longing in a downtrend, it's a scalp. It's only when you're shorting in a downtrend or longing in an uptrend could a scalp become a swing. Okay. Kind of explain that to myself. Yeah, I think Jasmine's not a meme coin. Jasmine is actually a killer. People actually don't like that I said this, but they call it the Bitcoin of Japan. And that's not my words. That's Japanese culture. It's really big in Japan. And once you kind of see a coin that has taken a grab on certain part of the globe, I like to see that on coin. I really like to see that. Popcat just got listed on crypto.com. That makes sense. All right. So going to continue continue here. So couple quick things. I mean, there's a quick story. I'm not really going to get into it. I'm just going to rip through the story. Mt. Gox moves a shitload of Bitcoin. Kind of be aware of the story. I don't want to delve into the story. I went off a little there, but if you want to read the story, I copy pasted it in the chat. I got to keep the ball rolling. I'll circle back to that one. All right. So Solana emerges as Ethereum's fiercest rival in the blockchain race. And guys, this is no secret. This is no secret. This will continue to be a thing. Solana's innovative layer one scaling solutions has significantly influenced the crypto market, positioning as a strong rival to Ethereum. Solana's price has soared with a 24-hour trading volume of $2 billion USD and a live market cap of 70 billion, ranking number 5 on CoinMarketCap. Solana's scalability and cost efficiency pose a serious threat to Ethereum's dominance, despite Ethereum's established network and first mover advantage. I think first mover advantage is going to matter less and less as time goes on. I think Bitcoin will always be Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's a store of value. When it comes down to using a blockchain because a blockchain is a blockchain, that's when things are going to change. And that's when I think projects like Hedera, projects like Algorand are going to eventually catch up to their tech in market cap over time. But that type of thing takes time, and you have to be patient, and you have to believe in the technology to start with. So straight up, Solana is gaining momentum and challenging Ethereum's long-held dominance. That's basically the story. Continuing forward, Solana eyes $174, says the top analyst. If you don't follow this page, Ali_chart, really good follow on Twitter. He does have pretty solid TA posts. He's just a TA guy. That's all he does, but I really do like his page. Solana appears to be forming a W pattern, which would say that it'll surge to $1.74, kind of bloom. Yep, very, very well looks like a W to me. And it certainly could continue that move to 174. We could take a look at that on the charts when we continue. There was also another story. Okay, so it doesn't show the picture here, but so this price action formed a descending triangle. But a breakout could reverse. A breakout would signal a continuation of long-term trend to the upside, bringing the secondary resistance closer to $202. So they don't have a picture of it, but there's another analyst saying, so Ali saying 174. This analyst, do they have their name? Fairlead Strategies is saying 202 for Solana. I will give you my take here in a minute. Solana surges on ETF hype and circles $250 million USDC mint. And once again, hey, here's that same W chart popping up in another story. And guys, we have to appreciate when a coin actually has projects underneath it built on that blockchain that explode. That is a true sign of viability. And this is kind of an issue that other projects have. Okay. And also circles 250 USDC boost Solana ecosystem, another story as well. Not really that much there. It's only 250 million, but hey, it's something. But so my point here is that the true success of a project is determined off how many projects can be built on that and have like real viability inside the top 100. Look at Ethereum. The layer twos, right? We've seen them. Matic, the list goes forever. Look at Avalanche. You have Benkey. You have Trader Joe. Coins like that. So when there's actually viable coins underneath the layer one that are project into the top 100, that's true viability. Solana. All right. We have Pyth, Jupe, Wormhole, Popcat now. And when you see meme coins popping off, Avalanche had COQ, you get the point I'm building here. It's unfortunate when you see projects that could have those things built on it, but don't yet. Hedera, Algorand are two examples of, they have projects built underneath them, but they haven't really taken a hold yet. Not saying that they won't, but that's kind of where you have to have a lot of respect for Solana. And also in the same breath, which is why I don't really hold much Solana. My exposure to Solana is through the coins underneath of it. Because you have to think, okay, if we're going to pivot from my original Solana price prediction into a higher one, taking the ETF into account, what are the coins underneath it going to do, and how much more movement could they move up the hill? And that kind of is a perfect segue to this story, the last story of the day that I'm going to talk about before we hit the charts and finish my explanation, is Solana's Popcat, a coin we've talked about in the Telegram group for the past couple weeks, guys. $1 billion market cap after hitting all-time high. And this is what I mean. This, when you're under the right coin at the right time, Popcat won't ever catch Solana, right? But it could go well into the top 50, in my opinion. This thing has a lot of momentum. I believe it's been around for a while, and we do have to be careful trading, holding meme coins like Popcat. But you also, if you're these are, in my mind, these are literally perfectly designed for day trading. All right, and guys, I am going to show this chart. Actually, I'm not going to show the chart, because that chart's reserved for the Telegram group. But guys, in the Telegram group, all I will say, I'll measure it right now. From the break from July 8th, from the level I gave on July 8th to now, we're talking 125% in 7 days. From the level I gave on Sunday, from top to bottom, 60% a day in 8 hours, currently 44% a day in 8 hours. Popcat is kind of coming back down the hill. And if it loses 77 cents, I believe that is a cut and dry short on Popcat. In the event it loses 77, I would conditional range Popcat between 87 and 77. I will say that. But guys, keep a close eye on Popcat. And I do have a little bit more to say about Popcat in the Telegram group a little bit later on today. If you want to join the Telegram group, guys, ajalphagroup@gmail.com. I've been really doing a lot of homework, making the group better every day, the best I can. I want this to be a really strong group. I've seen so many people become insane. Like, I feel like a lot of traders out there are just missing like one or two small ingredients, that, or if it's a mindset thing, or if it's a direction thing, or they just kind of need their to be shown how I'm doing it. Like, this isn't like a group where, I'm going to post 50 charts every day and overload your brain. This group is this simple. It's this simple. I am showing you the charts that I am personally trading every day. Okay? It's not this like BitLab Academy, like curriculum. All right? That I'm writing that. My name's AJ Rage Crypto. There are being books written in the background. There will be classes eventually. But the gist of this group is I'm showing you guys the coins. I talk about coins. I'll share stories about the coins I'm watching, the coins I'm holding, the coins I want to target in my portfolio. But also the gist is I'm showing you the exact charts, the exact levels, the exact alarms that I am personally trading every day. You are given the same information that I am using to trade. It's that simple. And that has helped so many people. Yeah, definitely send an email if you want to learn more. We've been making some serious progress in the past, couple months. And Super Shaz, I added you into the group yesterday, but if you can't get added into the new groups, you need to be sent a link. I remember the intern messaging me your name, and I added you, so you might have the wall up. So I'll get them to send you a link after the show. Okay, but I got you. And also, somebody asked a question. Time frames definitely matter, guys. I might have lost the question. Why are you so bullish on Popcat? What does it even do? Just a meme, no utility. Okay, this is a perfect time to have this conversation. Yes, and of course we're going to talk about Solana. We've been talking about Solana this whole time. Popcat's a coin on Solana. All right. All right, Hawkeye. I am not bullish on Popcat like I'm bullish on the Graph or Hedera or my picks. I don't care if a coin has no utility in terms of day trading. Am I holding Popcat in my portfolio? Hell no. Hell no. Okay. But do I think it has upside? Yes. Why? Because it's a killer project in the Solana ecosystem right now. Not to mention when you hold on, where is, let me get a fresh, I'll show you. I'll show you. It's loading. Okay. So why am I bullish on Popcat? Because when you go to Phemex, aka the exchange where I do all my trading, you see all the coins that are being leverage traded by everyone every day. And right here we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, BNB, SHIB, Popcat. Out of all the coins in crypto, right now, out of everything, right now, on Phemex, Popcat has the seventh most amount of volume out of any coin. Anytime you are looking at, more than 7 or 8 million, I prefer 10 million in volume, you can get in and out of a very large trade without friction, without waiting for your order to get filled. If you're looking at more than 10 million, you can get in and out, no problem. So Popcat, not only has it risen into the top 100, I started talking about Popcat in the group when I was in Barcelona. Guys, we have more than doubled since we started talking Popcat levels. All right. And you have to, I don't care if it doesn't have utility. I don't care if it's just a meme coin on Solana. When you have a chart with volume that is breaking from the top 300, the top 200, the top 100, and you miss that trade, that is your fault. Guys, it's about trading. It's not about like hodling and like worshiping the coin. It's about trading the charts that are hot. It's that simple. It's that simple. And you have to look at it like that. You have to. So, I mean, or just don't win trades. Or don't win trades. That's fine. I mean, you have to trade what's hot. And when a chart picks up steam and a chart is killing all the other projects in volume, because there's so many people trading that chart. Like, why would you, when something has high volume, those are the charts you target, because especially when you do large positions like myself, you want to be able to quickly get in and out. It's a hot chart, has a lot of volume, it's been picking up steam. Why would you not trade it? That's my question. So it's not a hodl. 100% it's not a hodl. I'm day trading it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it rolling here. So I'm gonna pick up on the conversation we started from the beginning of the show. All right. And we, kind of talked about Solana. It's a rival to Ethereum. It's a venture capitalist darling. The institutions love it. They don't care about the little holes it has in terms of it shuts off sometimes. It's kind of been less and less of an issue as time has gone on, to be fair. And the conversation, ironically, for the next ETF is certainly Solana is in line for the next ETF in front of XRP. And that really doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you, because it's the VC darling. XRP has held a lot. XRP has moved lately, like the past couple days, but before that, it was kind of a stable coin all year long. All right. And that's not really sexy. That doesn't really turn people on. But Solana, for whatever reason, the whales have really taken to that coin, and money talks. And when I did my original Solana price prediction, the ETF was not in the conversation yet. And we kind of did the math on, how much money went into Ethereum from the beginning of the year to its local top, around $220 billion, rough estimate. And, if the same type of build up hype happens to Solana, we get a Solana ETF, we have to think of the inflows. We have to think of, how many country. There's a lot to really dissect there. But my point here is that when I did my Solana price prediction, we talked a little bit of dominance. We talked about Gone theory. We talked about pitch fans, and we kind of played the moon math game a little bit with the confluence of those three ideas. And I landed around $636. How did I get there? First thing here, let me pull up my Solana chart. Solana. Okay. So Share this tab instead. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So here we are. We do have to realize that, a lot of the reason why when I made the video, why I was kind of turned off to, the $1,000 Solana idea is because here we are now. Okay. Over here is, November 25. This is $1,000 Solana. There we are. Holy shit. Okay. Like, doesn't that seem completely like, yeah, okay, bro. Okay. That's bananas. That is bananas. All right. I am going to stick with that. Secondly, when you pull a GAN from on Solana, all right, let's go to boom, trend line, go from below, 45-degree angle, bang, 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 boom. Oh, wrong one. Solana. Where the hell is it? Oh, that's why. GAN. Bang. All right. So in the last bull run, just like this one, Solana did spend time above the 1-1, which is the most important level in GAN theory, and below the 2-1. All right. The same as last bull run. This is where Solana spent its time. And the reason that matters is because we have not seen Solana in any bull run get into this band of the GAN, get into this band of the GAN. It has respected the top of the 2-1 above the 1-1. That is what has been the historical MO for Solana in terms of GAN theory from the previous bull run. All right. And let's scroll on over here. Okay. So right here is, November 25. Okay. So we'd probably say, January, September, November, 26, November 25 right here. All right. And November 25 right here. Oh, right there. Okay. All right. So this is kind of the bands we are looking at in terms of GAN theory for Solana. And to be fair, in current price, we'll talk about Solana currently, it has dipped below, but it ultimately has held the 1-1 for the most part. It's currently above the 1-1. That's really bullish because that's the most important level in GAN theory. All right. So when we come over here, we are looking at, so low end 250, 303, top end 525, 568 on a current GAN. All right. I thought a little bit higher considering dominance, considering pitch fans, which I will also show you here in a minute as well. But, you have to understand that is a lot of money. That is a lot. Say Solana goes to 576. Solana goes to 576. What would that look like? Okay. 576. Yeah, 267 billion, 270% pump. The conservative side of me, the side that makes sense, that uses logic, all those things, that does make sense to me. That does make sense. 580 something, when my first prediction was 636, a little bit below that in terms of GAN theory. Yes. My logical brain saying, yes, AJ, that's correct, AJ. You're doing the right thing, AJ. You don't want to mislead your audience, AJ. But then in the same breath, we have to understand that Solana has thrown logic out the window the entire time. When has there ever been logic involved with Solana, guys? Like when, guys, it was $8. It was $8. We're talking a 2,000% pump in 460 days. If you bought it at $8 or $9, you're still up 1,500% from that local low. To be fair, Solana is still 65% away from its all-time high. And we also have to understand that the supply has grown a good amount between now and there too. And that does kind of put a cap on what we're talking about. It really does. It really does. Go back and watch my original Solana price prediction if you want. I'm not going completely down that rabbit hole. But what I will say is that we have to take hold on, where's the picture? We have to take the ETF into account when we did not take it into account before. I'm looking for something particular right now, and I cannot find it. 1 minute. There it is. All right. Good old-fashioned pitch fan. Very, very fun concept. And guys, Solana has spent a lot of time up in the top of it. All right. Which is very good as well. All right. And this kind of just uses angles. It's very similar to Gun Theory. You're not going to kind of overcomplicate shit. But this one, we're talking November, you know, kind of changes things a little bit. Okay. And this does take us up to 864 in the top, where you have seen that it has been rejected from the top of this. So we can kind of use the top of this line as a guide on, you know, where things could go. All right. And I was saying, you know, 636 because it lined up with the dominance and it lined up with, you know, this timeline on this line right here. And when I see that kind of confluence, that's the things I kind of lean into. But we have to understand that with the ETF, there is a possibility that Solana can go much higher than it did before. And what do we mean by that? We're talking on November 25, 926 to 513 if we stay inside this, you know, kind of this part of the pitch fan. I don't know how to define it like Gun Theory 1121. I understand that with Gun Theory. I don't know the proper terminology for what between here and here is in pitch fan. But nonetheless, 914 to 501. That will be considered the range. I'm going to go ahead and say revising Solana price prediction from 236. I'm going to say to 775. I'm going to say 775 would be 387% pump from where we are. And with, let me write that down. 775. And if we come over here to the coin perspective, 775, I know you can't see it yet. Boom. Boom. Share this tab instead. We're looking at a $360 billion market cap, basically. And that checks out. That checks out. From where we are now, we got to go a little teeny bit less than 300 billion. And guys, if there's ever been a way to inject hundreds of billions of dollars into something, it's an ETF. And that's what we've talked about, that we saw what happened with Bitcoin. We talked about it happening to Ethereum, and we have to take that into consideration with Solana. To be fair, when you compare, you know, that gain though, you know, so let's say this event plays out. Okay. Let's say Solana gets to 775, all right, which would be right around here. Guys, it's not even 400%. It's 390. Which is why I don't personally hold Solana. Even if Solana went, guys, from where it is right now to, I got to scrunch this down a little bit. If Solana went from where it is right now to $1,000, it would still be 550 some percent, 550%. Not even a 6x. Not even a 6x. Why? Why would you load Solana? My reasoning is, this is why I talked about Popcat. This is why I talk about Pyth and Jupe and Wormhole, because your winners are going to be the exposure to the ecosystem. The ecosystem. Those are the coins that have $1 billion or less, or just starting to knock on that door. You know, if they go from 1 billion to 10, you did better than this. You did better than this. And nonetheless, I am bullish on Solana as an ecosystem. Asterisk, as an ecosystem. I do think it's going to do better than my original price prediction because of the ETF in the event an ETF happens. I still think 1,000 is asking for a lot, but I don't think it's impossible. Okay. But the main takeaway I want you to look at here is that if you're trying to maximize your gains, you have to target, you like, if you have less than $50,000 and you're loading up Solana, you're loading up Cardano and XRP, like, okay, Okay, if you want to have some anchor picks and kind of lock down your portfolio, keep it safe. If you're trying to protect, fine. But if you're trying to shoot, you need to align your coin selection with your goals. And a lot of people miss that chapter. All right. Checking the chat here for a minute. New York Nick, AJ, is your price prediction shade for Algorand after the Decipher conference and interviewing the highest level people in their company? I'm not going to, go back and fix a price prediction every time a story comes out. But when it's an ETF, you have to do something. All right. I'm not straight up revising my algorithm. I mean, there is a range and there is a target. And I don't feel the need. I still feel that was still a pretty bullish price prediction, and I don't feel the need to change it. If it goes above my target, great. But, I don't feel it takes something as big as an ETF for me to go, oh, okay, shit, because I generally do give myself a good bit of cushion. I have seen everyone in crypto do price predictions. I've seen the mistakes they've made. I've done everything in my power to avoid making those mistakes. And I haven't, time will tell, because, I started doing price predictions in 22. All right. In 23 even. And now that we're in 24, we haven't even seen that bull run yet. So in terms of accuracy, it remains to be seen. I do plan on really going back, because if there's a coin I did a price prediction on back at Hit Network that I haven't done another one on this channel, that's still live. And I that kind of scares me, because a lot has changed from, the doldrums of the bear market to where we are now. So, there's kind of that element of, okay, I certainly need to get back on the ball. But you're going to be right about some, you're going to be wrong about some, but I certainly have always done my best to do it the most logical, break it down the most logical way possible. And I'm going to continue to do that. So I do appreciate you guys following along this whole time. But I'm not going to change every single, I found you through your approach to price predictions on BitBoy Crypto. Exactly. You have a spreadsheet of them. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Chaz. And you have something else that we need to talk about. Here is a spreadsheet from Chaz in the chat, who made a spreadsheet of everything I've ever said. Y'all hold me accountable big time. I love it. I absolutely. We even got the medians, the mean, medians, and the modes. We got standard deviations. You got a proof. Man, you're killing me. And I also did promise Shaz here, it is Tuesday, I'm going to do one rate my portfolio from Shaz before we close today out. Guys, if you're on your way out the door, I know we're running a little bit over on this show. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the Grogger Nation. We aren't slowing down anytime soon. You guys rock. I appreciate you supporting the channel and supporting, this is my career. And if it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And that means the absolute world to me. So, forever humble to you guys. All right. So let's take a look at this $25,000 portfolio. 11 algo, 12 HBAR, 11 8 near, about 6 Arweave, about 6 graph, and then MNT 2%, Phemex 2%, Phantom, ADA, Dot, Matic, Vet, Filecoin, ZK, Quant, Link, Vet, Render. All right. So one sec. Hold on. I'm looking something up really fast. Okay. So this is the $25,000 portfolio. Okay. And Shaz, I don't mind. I don't mind your picks, but you have way too many coins, bro. way too many coins. We're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 coins. No, no, Shaz, no. You have to realize every time you have a new coin in your portfolio, you need to treat that coin like a baby. And every baby needs as much attention as it possibly can. And if you have a family of 10 or bigger, someone is fending for themselves. You know what I mean? And you have to understand this, Shaz, is that $25,000 portfolio, a 2% holds $500. Why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your time? 500 in ADA, 500 in DOT. Why? All right. Why do you have? All right. You want to splash MNT like Mantle, Phemex, Phantom, $500? Okay. But what's the point of splashing $500 in ADA? What's the point of splashing $500 in Polkadot or 3% in Matic? There's no point to that. It's not achieving anything. Those large market cap splashes, you're wasting capital because you basically just have them to have them. I don't mind the larger side of your portfolio. Algo, HBAR, Near, Arweave, Graph, and even Render, even FET. I'm cool with it. I think Link I'm fine with, Quant I'm fine with, but then once you get into ZK, you got to do something. What I would do is I would take Mantle. Actually, I can't say that. I can't say that. I would take all the small splashes and put them in a big pile and redistribute them into larger splashes. So because like if you hold $500 in ADA, right? And ADA triples, like who cares? Like you're not making any money with that. Like you gotta put the money in the middle so it can really kind of shoot up. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like I made my point already. Okay. And so all the splashes got to go. And if you want to consolidate, if you want to pick two of those splashes and put all the other splashes into that splash, okay. I'd pick Phemex and Phantom. Okay. I think they have the most upside there out of the splashes. Especially Phemex. The rest of the portfolio is fine. You have too many coins, and I also don't know. I think you said your goal is a 10x. Oh my God, Popcat top 10. Oh my God, way to listen to what I said, bro. Way to really listen to the words I said. Yo, just I don't even want people like that watching the channel, to be honest. It drives me crazy. But yeah, I don't mind it. But your goal is a 10x, and you have to really remember that, right? So if your goal was a 7x, I'd give you a higher score. I think you should reassess your goal. I think anytime you ask for a 10x, you really have to think about and appreciate what you're really asking for. Yeah, of course, bigger risk and bigger sacrifice means bigger returns. Of course it does. But you have to take the risk. You know what I mean? You can't just be that spread out. You're not achieving anything. You know what I mean? So all the splash has got to go. Other than that, I don't mind your choices. The core of your portfolio: Algo, HBAR, Near, Arweave, Graph, Render. That's solid. I don't hate that at all. That part I like. I would certainly want more Graph. I would certainly want more Render, and that's what I'm saying. You can use kind of more. You can use some of those splashes to top off. Some of these things, especially as they're kind of working their way up. So there you go, Shaz. I appreciate you, man. I will make sure I send you a link to get you in. I didn't tell you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if it was me, that's what I would do. And definitely think about that 10x. If that's a 7x portfolio, if you're trying to 7x, I'd give you like an 80. If you're trying the 10x, I'm going to give you a lower score than that. So, but maybe we'll reassess after you get rid of some of the splashes. Because like if you have $25,000 and you're holding $500 in Cardano, what does that solve? You know what I mean? So that kind of cut the fat off of the it's kind of like a joke. It's kind of like with joke writers. You got to kill your darlings. You have to cut the fat out of the story, so it's just kind of this direct punch. And I compare that to crypto portfolios a lot. So you guys rock. Cut the fat. Oh man, well, I'm getting out of here. I gotta go. Smash the like buttons on your way out the door. I don't think Popcat's going to the top 10. I don't know how someone's watched what I said and contorted their brain into he thinks Popcat's going top 10. Oh man, guys, story of the day. Don't make fully formed opinions with a fraction of the evidence. Get rich or get wrecked. Peace.